Oh, great. I love a good Helen Keller reference. We're almost there. Hey, hello, Ben. Hello, Michael. So it looks like we are at the correct time. Hello, Kenyon and Kelly. And, yeah, you know, when I was in the grocery business, one of the things I used to love to say when people would order a bunch of crap that wouldn't go to the shelf, I would say, "Who wrote this order, Helen Keller?" There's Robbie. Hello, Robbie. Robbie, a regular now, it would seem, yes? Moved my back. Now, see what I do. That's why I was concerned about the time. I don't fall back, okay? I did it last year, and I regretted it. Since I retired, I quit doing it. So while it is really, for everybody else in Spokane, it's 1:30. For me, it's 2:30. And that's not a problem. My only worry was that it would affect the start time of the game because I put all of my computers, phone, all that on Arizona time. I may just keep him on that since that's what I go on year-round anyway, right? Yeah, I'm seeing better today, I can tell you that. So that's a plus. I'm grateful for that. And there is Jeffrey. I don't understand. What is a strike? Maybe you can explain that, or someone else can. I don't know what that is. You're on strike, or you got a strike and you cannot broadcast. So what is a strike? Is that like 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out? That's weird. That's all I'm going to say. There's RJL Network. Hello. Strike is when you break commonly standard rules. 3 and you are out. Wow. Okay. Just like baseball. So what would be some rules? I mean, we don't... I don't see anything we could do on this. I tell you, when I used to do my road trip videos, I got dinged for copyright infringement for using music one time. But they didn't call it a strike. They just said they weren't going to make the video public until I corrected, or you can make it silent during those parts, block out that copyrighted song. You know, I don't know the details, but it all sounds very ambiguous to me. Yeah, the music seems to be a big thing, doesn't it, RJL? Oh, cursing. Well, what's considered cursing these days, okay? I mean, I've dropped a few, I know that. Before we get into this game, I'll tell you what, let's take a look. I printed this out. You know, I don't print a lot of box scores from the computer game, but most of you guys were there. If not, I'll explain it. Tell you what happened. In Saturday's game, Hank Aaron hit 4 home runs. That's my first 4 home run game ever in card and dice Strat-O-Matic. And I differentiate that from Windows version Strat-O-Matic and 365 online Strat-O-Matic. To me, they're 3 different animals entirely. But yeah, I'll bet. So how long is a strike? A week? It'll go by like nothing. Especially at our age. Shit, I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. So Aaron with a 4-homer game. Look at that, would you? 5 for 5, 5 runs, 7 RBIs. He had 4 home runs and a single. That's 17 total bases. I'm keeping this. That was a hell of a game. And today we're going to complete the doubleheader and the 4-game series between these two clubs. Ernie Broglio starts for the Cubs. Ken Johnson for the Braves. You can see their cards here. Broglio with a pretty rough card. And it shows. Oh my goodness. It's a batting practice card almost. And yet, get a load of this. In 5 starts for the Cubs so far, he was 2-2 with a 2.94 ERA so far in this replay. 34 innings, 25 hits, 20 strikeouts. Here's Ken Johnson. Pretty good card, better against righties. And Johnson's 2-2 in 8 starts, but with a rather high 5.46 ERA. 56 innings, 64 hits, 28 strikeouts. So pitchers whose replay number is pretty much the opposite of their cards to this point. Again, as I say often, we are still very, very young into this replay. That's a good idea, Cleveland, and welcome. Hang it up with the original score sheet. I tell you, that was one for the ages, that's for sure. And we're going to get this one started today. Let's go over the Cubs lineup. More or less the same as game 1, except Altman's at first instead of Banks. So it's Adolfo Phillips leading off in center. Glenn Beckert at second base in the 2 spot. Billy Williams bats third and plays right field. Ron Santo, the cleanup man, at third base. George Altman at first base, hitting 5th. Byron Brown is in left in the 6th spot. Randy Hundley will do the catching and hit 7th. Don Kessinger at short 8th. Broglio, of course, pitching and batting 9th. The Braves defensively, Joe Torre behind the plate for game 2. Lee Thomas at first, Alomar and Woody Woodward up the middle. Eddie Matthews will play third in the twilight game. Left to right, the outfield is Alou, Mac Jones, and Henry Aaron. The man of the day. Yeah, early February. That sounds about right to me. And greetings and hello to Rick. Only one to do that. Bob Horner. Wow, had a 4-homer game. And I see it already. I failed to do one thing. Because it was a doubleheader, I already had pre-made this because I was thinking of playing it as 2. So the Cubs with the loss, they're 15-17 now. The Braves with the win, 16-22. So we can write that in. Okay, Johnson's ready to work. We're ready to get underway here today. What's the spread? Yes, indeed. 2024. That that could be fun. I usually do those on my computer. The more recent replays. I'm still working on a 23 on my computer, and also, of course, my 1982 game by game. Yeah, Michael Hundley, Iron Manning it, catching both games. Here's Adolfo Phillips to start things off. He comes in at 271, 2 homers, 15 RBIs now. Here's Ken Johnson into the windup. Pitch to Phillips is a 1-8 right-handed, and he bangs a single up the middle. Phillips aboard. Phillips has wheels. Let's check that battery now. Johnson with a great hold, -4. Torre a 0, so that would make Phillips a 13 not held. That's always the tough one, isn't it? 13. They're going to hold him. That'll make him 11. Erase all doubt, so to speak. He's not going at 11. That'll bring up Glenn Beckert. Beckert hitting .329 on the year. No homers, 9 RBIs. From the stretch now, the pitch from Johnson. That's going to be a 5-10 right-handed. He pops him up on the left side. Woodward will take it. And there's one down. Phillips still being held at 11. Billy Williams will be the hitter with one down. Billy hitting .290. Leads the club in homers with 8, and he has 21 RBIs. Johnson out of the stretch. Here's the pitch to Billy. It's a 2-7 right-handed fly ball into center field. That's playable for Jones. He'll make the grab, and there's 2 away. And they're going to take the hold off with 2 down, make him a 13. Braves assuming, or gambling, you might say, that he won't try to go at 65% with 2 out, and they would be right. We won't do that. Not with Ron Santo at the plate. Santo leads the club in batting. He's hitting .348 so far. 6 home runs and a team leading 28 runs batted in. The pitch from Johnson. That's a 6-6 right-handed. It's a double to 6 on a 12. Santo will settle for a long single. Phillips rounds and cruises into third. So Chicago runners at the corners and 2 down, and here's George Altman. Altman pinch hit in the opening game of the doubleheader, playing first base today. Just 7 for 50 on the season. No homers, 7 RBIs. Johnson steadies the runners. Now the pitch is Altman, 5-7 left-handed, routine grounder to second. Sandy Alomar will take it, flip to Thomas, and the side is retired. So no runs, 2 hits, a pair left. At the end of half an inning of play, it's Chicago 0, Atlanta coming to bat. That's right, Robbie. Absolutely. Don't forget to vote. Most of us old-timers, I suppose. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I already mailed mine in a long time ago. We tend to stay home, is my point. Yeah, I don't get out much, says the guy who just completed a 4,000-plus mile road trip, right? With a cat. Okay, as Brolio tunes up here, let's get you the Braves lineup. Felipe Alou in left field leading off. Remember, Felipe played first base in the opener. Mac Jones is back in the lineup in center, hitting second. Hank Aaron in right field bats third. Eddie Matthews at third base in the cleanup spot. Joe Torre will do the catching and hit fifth. Lee Thomas plays first in the nightcap and hits sixth. Woody Woodward at short. And Sandy Alomar at second round things out, with Johnson, the pitcher, hitting ninth. Cubs set up this way defensively. Randy Hundley behind the plate. Altman at first. Beckert and Kessinger up the middle with Santo at third. And the outfield left to right of Brown, Phillips, and Williams. So here come the Cubs here come the Braves, rather, in the bottom of the first. Brolio ready to work. Felipe Alou to start things off. He comes in at .325, 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Alou now. 5-7, it's a single to 12. That's going to be past the diving Santo and into left field for a leadoff single for Felipe Alou. We can take a look at the Cubs battery now. Brolio is 0 hold. Hundley a 0 arm. Alou not really a threat to steal. And the batter will be Mac Jones. Jones just 3 for 23 so far. One of those 3 hits a home run. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from the stretch. That's going to be a 2-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Brolio fans Jones. 1 down. Torre holding a plate of spaghetti. And here he is, Henry Aaron. Stats have been entered, of course, from the first game of the doubleheader. We find Aaron now hitting .234, a major league leading 16 home runs, and 36 RBIs. I meant to check that. Let's take a moment and do that. My guess is that he also took over the RBI lead, but let's take a look. He's tied with Jimmy Wynn with 36. Brolio. As far as I know, that's how I always said it. I'm guessing that Kenyon would have helped me out there by now if it wasn't. Kenyon Gray, very good, and there he is, answers the question just like that. Kenyon, very good with the pronunciations. He's helped me out on quite a few. Aaron standing in now. The pitch from Brolio. Wouldn't this be something? If he 2-8 right-handed, he draws the walk. So Brolio issuing the utmost respect to Aaron, and he also issues the walk. Hard not to pitch him carefully after that first game, wouldn't it be? Here's Matthews, first and second, one out. Matthews, 238, 3 homers, a dozen RBIs. The pitch from Brolio, that's a 2-7 right-handed, and he walks him to load the bases. So a single and 2 walks, and the Braves are in business here in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded, 1 away. And Joe Torre will put down his plate of spaghetti and step to the plate. Torre hitting .343 on the season, 5 home runs. His 31 RBIs also among the league leaders. Nowhere to put him. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch. That's a 3-7. That's going to be banged into center for a 2-star single. Alou scores. Aaron's right behind him to score. Matthews to third. It's a 2-run single by Torre. And the Braves pick up right where they left off on Saturday. They lead it 2-0. That'll bring up Lee Thomas, the left-handed hitting first baseman, hitting .202, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, still at double play depth. Brolio trying to coax that ground ball to get out of the inning. From the stretch, pitch to Thomas is a 3-6 liner right into the glove of Altman. Back to the bag is Torre, just in time. That could be a big out for Brolio. He's still got to get Woodward. 2-0 Braves here, bottom of the first. Here's Woody hitting .267. No homers, 15 RBIs. The windup, the pitch, 5-12. That is going to be a homer, but it's a single. Woodward a weak. That's going to be a 2-star single. That drives in another run. That'll plate Matthews. Torre all the way to third with his blazing speed. It's an RBI single for Woodward. And it is 3-0 Braves. And that'll bring up Sandy Alomar, computer-only card. Give me a minute here. I better pull this up on my screen. This one very difficult to read. Actually not terrible on the right-handed side. The left-handed side is really tough. Okay, runners at the corners, 2 down. Brolio, the pitch to Alomar. That's a 4-11 left-handed. Fly ball into left field. Playable for Brown. He's got it, and the side is retired. The Braves jump all over Brolio for 3 runs, 3 hits. There were a pair of walks, 2 left on. And after 1 inning, it's 3-0 Braves. Brolio, a 5-inning starter. So already asking myself, maybe you are too, how far do we go with him today? We'll see how he does in the second. I was kind of mad at myself Saturday that I didn't make more hoopla out of Aaron's 4th homer. Man, that was something. To the second we go. Byron Brown will start it off for the Cubs. Byron hitting .290, 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. Johnson gets the sign from Torre now. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a .212 right-handed, and he hits him. Johnson hits the leadoff man. Not the best idea with it. You just stake to a 3-0 lead. And hits the first batter. Brown, not a threat to run, especially not with Johnson's -4 hold. And the batter will be Hundley. Hundley hitting .269, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. Johnson working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Hundley. It's going to be a 5-5 right-handed. That is a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Alou at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Home run, Randy Hundley. And we've got a ball game. How about that? Let's take another look here. 5-5, right-handed, homer to 7. The roll is a 2. Hundley has the power. That's his 5th home run of the season. So the hit batter blows up on Johnson. And it's 3-2. And there's Franklin watching it on the Xbox. Yes, sir, man, it did. That hit by pitch hurt Johnson. And Hundley responding in the best way you can, really, when your teammate is hit by the pitch. You got to make him pay. And welcome to Paulo Acosta. Starting to love this game. Well, that's the same here, actually, Paulo. Really, we buy all our stuff online. You can't really buy it in a store in the States. I used to see it now and then when I was younger, but I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Here's Kessinger now. Don Kessinger hitting .257, no homers, 6 RBIs, switch hitter batting left-handed. Pitch from Johnson, that's going to be a 5-12. It's a ground ball to the pitcher X. Johnson a 4-7. And here's the roll on the play. It's going to be a 20. He's got it and throws him out. Nice play, Johnson. That'll go 1-3X. That's the first out of the inning. And Brolio will be the hitter. Good hitting pitcher. He's a 5. Right-handed batter. Weak power. Johnson with the pitch. That's a 6-8 right-handed liner right into the glove of Thomas. So a soft liner to first, 2 down. And the batter will be Adolfo Phillips. Phillips singled to start the game. Yikes. The pitch to Phillips. 5-4 is a shallow fly to center field. That's going to be Jones coming on to make the catch, and the side is retired. But the Cubs answer back with 2, a hit by pitch and a 2-run blast by Randy Hundley. Michael has seen it, so they still do it. But even there, I'm sure you're limited to probably the most recent card set, right? If you bought it now, you'd have you'd get the game and the 23 cards probably. Yeah, and Ben, a newer player, but he's come a long way fast in the Strat-O-Matic department. Several replays going last time I heard, and an excellent knowledge of the rules. I've leaned on Ben quite a few times already. Bottom of the second, Johnson will lead it off. He's a 2 with end power. Here's the pitch now from Brolio. That's going to be a 1-6. Struck him out. Brolio fans the opposing pitcher. That turns the lineup over, and here's Felipe Alou. Alou singled and scored to the first. The pitch from Brolio. That's going to be a 3-8 right-handed. It's a ground ball to short. Charging is Kessinger. Throws him out, 2 down. And there's Mac Jones. Struck out in the first. Brolio winds and deals. That's going to be a 5-7 left-handed, and he loses him, ball 4. Third walk issued by Brolio. Jones, a star 15 stealer. He'll have to be held at 13. And here's Hank Aaron. Aaron walked in the first. Once again, you'll probably hear this several times today. Aaron hit 4 home runs in the opener of this doubleheader. The pitch from Brolio, 6'11", right-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Brolio, a 3-E-0, good fielding pitcher. Here's the play. On a 6, that's the error range. E0, he makes the play, and the side is retired. That'll go 1-3-X. No runs, no hits, a man left after 2 innings. Braves 3, Cubs 2. Well, I'll tell you, I can't... Paula, what I would do, and I do this anyway when I order stuff, if you're going to have to pay that much in shipping, you may as well order several things at once. Get yourself some score sheets, maybe some extra dice, get another card set. You see what I mean? I mean, you can add a bunch of stuff on and it's not going to change the shipping that much. At least not domestically. I don't know how that works in your case, but I'm guessing it would be similar. Yeah, the Yankees had to throw in like another $36 million, right, to nail the opt-out. Paul, as a general rule, I stream Sunday through Friday at 4:30 Eastern Time, 1:30 Pacific. Usually I take Saturday off, and I visit my mom and my sister on that day, and my nieces, who all live together. But I try to be consistent and keep the time consistent. Now, when the snow comes, I could be doing 2 games a day. If I can't get out, what else am I going to do? Right? Here's Beckert to lead off the third. Johnson into the windup. Pitch to Glenn Beckert on a 1-8. He rips a base hit up the middle and into center field. It's a leadoff single for Beckert. Beckert, a star 16 stealer. Johnson -4. That makes him a 12, and there's no need to hold him on. 1 through 12 to steal if he wants to go. Billy Williams at the plate. Johnson out of the stretch. He comes in there with a 2-5. That's a single into center field. An open single by Williams. Beckert could go to third. 14. Jones a 0. He's going. And the Braves will cut it off and hold Williams to first base. Williams representing the go-ahead run. They thought about it for a minute, but decided to cut it off and hold Williams to first, and that gives the Cubs first and third and nobody out. That is a good point, Perry. No shipping on the Windows game. Okay, Johnson in a jam here. Runners at the corners, nobody out. They'll play at double play depth for Santo, who singled his first time up. Johnson checks the runner. Now from the stretch. The pitch to Santo. That's a 5'10 righty. He pops him up. Infield fly rule. Woodward makes the catch. And that's a big out for Ken Johnson. 1 down. Here's George Altman. Altman grounded to second. Let's look at Williams stealing here again. No threat to go. 13 -4, he'd be a 9. And not an asterisk stealer. So Altman will bat. 1 out, runners at the corners. Infield back. That's a 4-8 left-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Johnson now 1 out from getting out of this first and third and nobody out jam. Still got to face Byron Brown. Brown, who he hit with a pitch in the second. Johnson set now. The pitch to Brown. That's a 1-8. Struck him out. Oh my goodness, what a performance there by Ken Johnson. Cubs had runners at the corners and nobody out, and Johnson able to pitch out of the jam. No runs, no hits, 2 left on. Kenyon, I tell you, I'm loving it. I started card and dice, of course, and most of you guys know this. I played strictly Windows and online for about 25 years. Just got back into the card and dice last year, with the exception of the one-off tournament here or there. You're much more involved in the game with cards and dice. Another player update here. Yikes. Oh, that's a shame. It's 3-2 ball game. Bottom of the third, it'll be Matthews, Torrey, and Thomas for Atlanta. Excuse me. Eddie Matthews walked his first time up. Here's the pitch from Brolio. That's a 5-6 left-handed, and he walks him again. Leadoff walk to Eddie Matthews. And here's Joe Torre. Torre drove in 2 runs with a single in the first. Brolio from the stretch now. Here's the pitch. On a 2-7 right-handed, he walks him. Back-to-back walks. That's 5 walks now issued by Brolio, and that's going to get somebody up in the Cubs' pen. Bob Hendley getting loose down there. And here's Lee Thomas. First and second, and nobody out. Thomas 0 for 1. Brolio set now. Here's the pitch on a 3-7 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base. That's going to be 2. It's Beckert to Kessinger to Altman. Double play. 4-6-3. Matthews down to third. So a huge double play for Brolio. Runner at third, 2 down, and the batter will be Woody. Woody singled in a run his first time up. Brolio trying to get out of the jam, a la Johnson in the top of the inning. Here's the pitch to Woody. It's a 4-7 right-handed, and he walks him. 3rd walk of the inning. 6th of the game. You get the feeling Brolio's not long for this game. The batter will be Sandy Alomar. The answer to that, Perry, is yes. Alomar batting left-handed. Brolio trying to get out of this inning. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-4 left-handed. That's a ground ball to third base X. That'll be the Gold Glover Santo, 1E27. Here's the play. On a 7, E-range. The roll is a 10. On a 27, he makes the play, and the side is retired. Nice play by Santo to bail him out. 5-3-X. 3 walks in the inning, 6 in the game. The Braves strand a pair, and after 3 complete, 3-2. And I'm going to throw this out to the group right now. Well, we got a little bit of time. I am seriously thinking of pinch hitting for Brolio in the 4th. Trailing by a run, he's been very wild. He's walked 6 in 3 innings. Seems to have no idea where the strike zone is today. So your thoughts, appreciated as always. I like to get you guys involved, you know that. But that's where I'm leaning right now. Yeah, old slow hook Steve, going to pitch hit in the 3rd. Bottom third for the Cubs. Hundley homered his first time up. Ben making a good point there. You'd like to get 5 out of Brolio. Johnson into the windup. That's going to be a 3-6 right-handed. He struck him out. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Johnson. There's Kessinger. Batting left-handed. Pitch from Johnson. That's a 110 right-handed. It's a base hit into right field for Kessinger. A lot of people want to leave him in. If he gives up a run, take him out. Well, one thing he's got going for him, he's a pretty good hitting pitcher. And let's look at game 1 here for a second. Kuntz worked 3 innings in the first game. Fall just an inning. Hendley 2. Although Hendley did pitch back-to-back, so he's available. So if we look at that pen, you kind of have to rule Kuntz out. Jenkins could go long. He pitched in this game in real life. He's a 4-inning reliever. Abernathy, the closer, of course. Well, they're pretty stacked. But we're going to let him bat. He's a 5-hitter. Runner at first, 1 away. Brolio will hit. The pitch from Johnson. It's a 6-5 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Woodward, a 3E34. This could be 2. There's the play. It's a 6 on a 3. It'll be 1. His only play is to first, and Kessinger takes second on the play. Slow ground ball. Woodward had to charge it. And the runner will take second on the play. 2 down, runner in scoring position. That's the tying run in scoring position. Adolfo Phillips at the plate. I didn't know that about Sparky Anderson, Michael. I do not remember that. Maybe somebody else can chime in on that. Don't remember Sparky on the Cubs. Okay, 2 down, runner in scoring position. Here's Phillips, 1 for 2. Pitch from Johnson. That's a 6-2 right-handed. That is a high fly ball to deep left field. However, no, he does have end power against righties. That is going back to the track. Alou leaps up on an 11, and it is gone. Adolfo Phillips has just put the Cubs in the lead with a 2-out, 2-run home run. Let's take another look. 6-2, homer to 12 righty. He's got the power. Just does get it out of there on an 11. And for Adolfo Phillips, that is his 3rd home run of the season. And just like that, here's Beckert now. Johnson rubbing up a new ball. Now stares in to get the sign from Torrey. Here's the pitch to Beckert. It's a 2-5 right-handed. Triple to 8. That's not flat. We're going to have to roll that one. It's a 2-5, triple to 8, double anything else. He's got it. It's the daily triple. And it's Glenn Beckert who gets it. Beckert's 2nd triple of the season. And now it's Johnson who finds himself on the ropes. He's a 7-inning starter. Whew. And here's Billy Williams. Ron Santo behind him. Johnson trying to get out of this inning now. Pitch to Billy. That's a 1-2 right-handed, a single on a 1. On a 7, it's a liner right at at Sandy. I do that, right? At Sandy Alomar. It's easy to do. Roberto's father, Sandy Alomar. That ends the inning. The Cubs get 2 runs to take the lead on 3 hits. They leave a man. And suddenly, Broglio finds himself in front. Oh, gotcha, Ben. Right. Yeah. Captain Hook, yep. We'll see how it works out. We let Broglio stay in. He now leads 4-3. They'd definitely be happy to get 5 out of him, right? What's good for the goose, as they say. So Johnson will bat in the 4th. He's a 7-inning pitcher, so it's a little easier in his case. The pitch is a 6-6 right-handed. Struck him out. Johnson fans for the 2nd time. And here's Felipe, 1 for 2 today. Broglio gets the sign from Hundley. Here's the pitch to Felipe. It's a 6-4 right-handed, a fly ball to center field X. Tough play for Phillips. A 3-E9. He's going back on that now. Here's the play. Still going back on a 15. Makes a nice running catch for the out. Nice play by Phillips in center. And here's Jones now. 0 for 1 with a walk. Broglio stares in. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-8 right-handed. He struck him out. So a much different looking Broglio here in the 4th. Retires the side in order with 2 strikeouts. After 4 innings of play, the Cubs lead at 4-3. How quickly the game can turn. Anybody's game, that's for sure. As we go to the 5th inning. You know, I mentioned this friend of mine who lives in Sacramento. What if they got such great support there, they just decided to stay? Talking about the A's now. Well, glad you could drop into the chat, Paulo. Welcome once again. Great to have you. 5th inning, we'll have Santo, Altman, and Brown. Exactly, Ben. Yeah, that stadium is not going to cut it. Santo, 1 for 2. Johnson, the windup. Here's the pitch to Santo. That's a 4-9 right-handed. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Past the diving Thomas. A diving Thomas, not a doubting Thomas. Here's Altman now, 0 for 2. Left-handed batter. Johnson out of the stretch. Pitch to Altman is a 1-4. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Altman K's for the 2nd time today. 1 down, and here's Brown. Brown hit by a pitch and then struck out. Is that a fact? I don't know. I think you're pulling our leg there, Franklin. I know you'd like to see him go, or at least get rid of that stadium. From the stretch, the pitch to Brown is a 6-8 right-handed. It's a liner right into the glove of Thomas. Liner to first, 2 down. And the batter will be Hundley, who's homered in this one. Johnson set now. The pitch to Hundley. 4-7 right-handed. Slow roller to short. Woodward charging. Throws him out. And the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Cubs lead at 4-3. And welcome to Biff. We've got a new face in the group, I believe. Great to have you. A lot of new viewers lately. That reminds me, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button for me. Brolio, his first inning of potential fatigue here. He's only in S5. We are in the bottom of the fifth. Hank Aaron to be followed by Matthews and Torrey. Aaron 0 for 1 with a walk in this one. 4 homers in the opener. Brolio with the pitch to Hammer and Hank is a 2-7, and he pops him up on the left side. Kessinger will take it. That'll bring up Matthews. Matthews has walked twice. The pitch from Brolio. 1-9 right-handed. It's a high fly ball driven to right center. Back goes Williams at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Eddie Matthews has just tied this game up with a blast of his own. On a 1-9 to 15, he rolls the 6. And for Eddie Matthews, that is just his 4th home run of the season. That's going to get him stirring again in the Cubs' pen. And it'll be Fergie warming up. Is that so? They're going to build one, huh? One down. Here's Torrey. Tie ball game. Torrey singled and walked in this one. Brolio gets the sign from Hundley. Here's the pitch to Torrey. It's a 2-10 right-handed. He bangs a single into left field, and now one more hitter walk will fatigue Brolio. Jenkins getting ready in a hurry now. Hundley out to the mound, maybe to buy a little time. So the Oakland thing was the joke then. I kind of figured. Here's Lee Thomas, 0 for 2. Infield at double play depth now. Brolio out of the stretch. That's going to be a 4-8 left-handed high fly ball to right field. Backing up is Williams, just shy of the track, pulls it in. Homer 1-2. He rolled the 14. That's just a loud out to right, and there's 2 down. Brolio due to bat second in the top of the 6th, facing Woodward now. Pitch from Brolio. It's a 2-9 right-handed. Grounder down to third base. Santa will take it. He goes down the short way to second for the force. And that will do it. The Braves tie it up on the Eddie Matthews home run. We've got 5 innings in the books. It's 4-4. And that is the last of Brolio. He gave him 5. That's all you can ask. Kessinger, a pinch hitter, and Phillips here in the 6th. Let's see who it's going to be. Jimmy Stewart's grabbing a bat, moving into the on-deck circle. Kessinger will lead it off. Kessinger 1 for 2. Johnson gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Kessinger. It's a 5-6 left-handed. He rips that one the other way, just inside the bag. Matthews dived for it. It's going to go into left field for extra bases. Kessinger rounds and steams into second with a leadoff double. "5-6 lefty. And they've announced Jimmy Stewart to bat for the pitcher. So 5 innings for Brolio. He only gave up 4 hits, but he walked 6. Struck out 4. 4 runs all earned. Fergie Jenkins will be the next pitcher. And the batter will be Jimmy Stewart, who played in this game in real life. He pinch hit in this game. Jimmy, a switch hitter. He'll hit left-handed against Johnson. Stewart just 2 for 16 on the season. He has 1 RBI. Johnson from the stretch. That's going to be a 2-6 grounder to second base. Let's see how that plays. Ground ball A. Runner grounder to second. Runner takes third. Well, Stewart grounds out, but he moves his runner along. Go ahead to run at third with 1 down. And the Braves will pull the infield in for Adolfo Phillips. Phillips 2 for 3. He's got a home run himself in this ball game. Johnson a glance at third. Now the pitch to Phillips. It's a 6-6 right-handed double to 6. That's a 2-star single on a 19, and that'll drive in Kessinger, and the Cubs take the lead. So a back-and-forth battle here today. Phillips 13 not held. I'm going to let the die decide. 1-3 he's held. He will be held. He's in 11. So with Phillips held at first, Glenn Beckert will be the hitter. Beckert 2 for 3 today. And Clay Carroll begins to toss down in the Braves bullpen. Johnson with the pitch from the stretch. It's a 4-5 right-handed. It's a grounder to short. Woodward has it to Alomar for 1 to first, not in time. That'll be a 6-4 force. Phillips is erased. Beckert at first base, a 12 not held, and the batter Billy Williams. Johnson trying to get out of this inning now with just the 1. Here's the pitch to Billy. A 4-4 left-handed is catcher's card X. That'll be Torrey. Torrey, a good catcher. 2E7. Here's the result of that play. On a 14, it's a pass ball, followed by a pop-out, side retired. The Cubs take the lead, however. A run on 2 hits, they leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 5-4 Chicago. He had no doubt. Here comes Fergie. Longtime favorite of mine. So far, his numbers with Chicago, he's been in 11 games, 1 start. He's 1-2 with 2 saves, a rather high 4.75 ERA in 30 innings of work. He'll be looking at Alomar, the pitcher's spot, and Alou. With the Braves trailing now, that's probably the end of the day for Ken Johnson. Clay Carroll is about ready there in the Atlanta pen. Here's Alomar to lead it off. Alomar batting left-handed. Jenkins with the windup and the pitch. A 4-2 lefty, fly ball into center. Can of corn for Phillips, who grabs it for out number 1. Trailing, the Braves will send up a pinch hitter here. That'll signal the end of the day for Ken Johnson. Johnson went 6 today. He gave up 10 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Did not walk anybody. He did hit a batter. Struck out 4, it looks like. Batter will be Dennis Menke off the bench. Menke started the first game with a doubleheader at third base. He'll pinch hit in this one. He comes in at 274, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Jenkins with the windup, and here's the pitch now. It's a 3-7 right-handed, a double to 6. He'll settle for a long single on a 10, and Menke comes through with a pinch hit single. That turns the lineup over. Here's Felipe Alou. Ben, I got rid of cable last year too. I got one of those sticks and some streaming. I did buy the MLB package. That was my big expense for the year. And the whole package probably the same price as about a month and a half of cable. Alou, 1 for 3. Runner at first, 1 down. Here's the pitch now from Fergie Jenkins. That's going to be a 5-4 right-handed. A grounder to third base X. That could be 2. The Gold Glover Sano patrolling down there at third with a 1E27. Here's the play on a 9. It's the E rating. It's a 7 on a 27, and he boots it. Oh, no. It's an error by Santo. E5, first error of the contest. Alou reaches. And now Jenkins is in trouble here in the 6th. Clinging to a 1-run lead. First and second, 1 away. Mac Jones steps to the plate. And you know who's on deck. Yeah, I get the Mariners blacked out, which is ridiculous. I'm 4.5 hours from there. So I hear you. Jones walked and struck out twice. Jenkins, a deep breath now, checks the runner. It's a pitch to Mac Jones, 110 right-handed. It's a grounder back to Fergie. He whirls and fires it down to Kessinger for 1 to first, not in time. That'll be a 1-6 force. Alou erased. Menke down to third. There's 2 down. But Hank Aaron coming to bat. I tell you, Franklin, with a 1 down there, I was really looking for the double play. I'll bet a lot of you were too. Aaron 0 for 2 in this one, walked and scored in the first. Jenkins bearing down now. From the stretch, the pitch to Hank Aaron is a 3-4 right-handed. It's a ground ball to short. Charging is Kessinger on the run just in time. And Jenkins pitches out of it. No runs, a hit, 2 left. There was an error. We've played 6. Cubs lead it 5-4. So Aaron apparently shot all of his bullets in the opener. Oh, that's cold. Let me get a cup of coffee here. Oh my goodness, Franklin. They certainly haven't been the same since Lou Piniella left. I'll say that for a fact. Well, they assume you can pick those up locally, but the thing is, I can't. It sounds like you probably can't either. I'd have to pay for cable and then another sports fee just to get the station that the Mariners are broadcast on locally. That doesn't seem right either. Okay, Johnson's done. Clay Carroll's coming on to pitch for the Braves as we go to the 7th. Carroll on the season has had his struggles. 1-3 with 2 saves, but a high 5.84 ERA in 25 innings of work. Well, because you get all the games of the other 29 teams, except, of course, there are exceptions. You know what they are. Apple and all that. It's a lot of games for the price, but what, about $25 a month? It's either that or watch Family Feud all day. I don't know why I used that as an example, but you know what I mean. Okay, Carroll's ready to work here in the 7th. Santo, Altman, and Brown due. Santo 2 for 3 today. Carroll gets the sign from Torrey. There's the pitch to Santo now on a 4-8 right-handed. It's a single to 16 on a 15. Just squeaks past the diving Alomar and into right field for a leadoff single. Santo has his 3rd hit of the day. I'd say get none of them, Ben. Just tune into 1966 baseball, right? What else do you need? Altman, 0 for 3, struck out twice. Carroll out of the stretch now. The pitch to Altman is a 5-11 left-handed. It's a fly ball to left and shallow. In comes Lou to make the catch. 1 out. And here's Byron Brown. Brown 0 for 2. Carroll out of the stretch. Pitch to Byron. 2-6 right-handed. He bangs a single into left field. That's an open single, but it's to left. So 11-9, a Lou -2, 1 through 7. No way. And the third base coach emphatically holding Santo up at second. First and second, here's Hundley. Carroll in a jam here in the 7th. Hundley 1 for 3, and it was a bigger one, a 2-run homer back in the 2nd. Carroll gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Randy Hundley now. It's a 3-3 grounder to shortstop. That's an easy double play. It's Woodward to Alomar to Thomas, and that will do it. 6-4-3, side retired. No runs, a pair of hits, 1 left as we stretch for the 7th. Cubs leading a nail biter here, 5-4. As we stretch for the 7th, let's check on our little furry friend here. It's the Mookie Cam. He's in a kind of a weird position today, isn't he? Hey, Mookie. Mookie, what are you looking at? Does he see something out there? Hang on a second. Let's go around. I can't imagine there's any bugs. It's been raining most of the day. There he is. Hey, buddy. You're on YouTube, Mook. He's getting big. What is the date today? The 4th? Yeah. 2 days he'll be just 7 months old. That is going to be one big cat when all's said and done. Isn't it, though? We move to the bottom of the 7th. It's 5-4 Cubs. Fergie Jenkins coming out for his second inning of work. He'll be looking at Matthews, Torrey, and Lee Thomas. Eddie Matthews has not been retired today. He's walked twice and then hit a home run in the 5th. Jenkins pitched to the left-hander. It's a 5-9, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Fergie fans Matthews, 2 Hall of Famers. And here's another one in Joe Torrey. Torrey, 2 for 2 with a walk today. Jenkins, the sign from Hundley now. There's the pitch to Torrey on a 4-7 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Wow, Jenkins coming right after him here in the 7th. 2 down, and here's Lee Thomas. Thomas 0 for 3 today. Excuse me. And here's the pitch from Fergie. 5-6 left-handed, slow roller to second. Becker charges it on the run, throws him out, and it's an easy inning for Jenkins. We played 7. Cubs lead it 5-4. Clay Carroll will come out for his second inning. Kessinger, Jenkins. And that's going to be a tough decision in itself there, right? What to do with Jenkins. I'm inclined to stick with Jenkins. Welcoming your opinions as always. Kessinger, the pitcher's spot, and Phillips due up. Kessinger's 2 for 3 in this one. Carroll into the windup. The pitch to Kessinger. That's a 6-10 left-handed, a grounder to shortstop X. Woodward will be tested again, 3E34. Here's the play on a 6. Diving stop. He picks it up, throws in time. So Kessinger out on a tough play to his opposite number. Jenkins, a 6 right-handed batter with end power. We're going to let him hit. Carroll's pitch. 2-9, single to 6. His bid denied on a 16 as he lines it right into the glove of Eddie Matthews. Two away, Adolfo Phillips will be the hitter. Adolfo 3 for 4 today with a home run. Carroll into the windup. Here's the pitch now on a 6-3 right-handed. It's a fly to left field X. That's Alou. Alou, a good outfielder, 2E7 as he races towards the line. On a 1, he's not going to get it. That's down, bouncing into the corner. There goes Phillips headed for second, and he's in there with a double. That would have been a tough play for anyone. Alou almost got there. And that'll get Becker to the plate. Two away, Glenn Beckert the batter. Glenn 2 for 4 today. Carroll checks the runner. Here's the pitch to Beckert on a 6-2. It's an open single into right field. Phillips can try to score on that one. He's a 16 with 2 outs. 18. Aaron, a -2 arm, back to 16. He's going. Aaron's throw to the plate. He scores. Beckert takes second on the throw. And the Cubs tack on an insurance run here in the top of the 8th. That's a good question, Franklin. We can look at that. Let's let Williams hit first. Carroll, no threat of fatiguing. He's going to pitch to him. Billy 1 for 4. Carroll into the windup. 6-7 lefty. Fly ball into center. It's a can of corn for Mac Jones, and the side is retired. But the Cubs get a big insurance run on 2 hits and leave 1. They lead it 6-4. Okay, how many homers in the doubleheader? We've got three today. 4 by Aaron in the opener and 1 by Brown. 5. So 8 home runs in this doubleheader. That was indeed, Perry, a big add-on there. You've got Jenkins pitching, bottom of the 8th. Let's look at the Cub defense. We could get Ty Klein in there somewhere. Probably in center for Phillips. That's what we'll do. Ty Klein will take over for Phillips in center for defense. Klein a 2E10 plus 1. And turn that thermostat off. Yeah, you missed that one, Perry. Oh my God, that was crazy. That's my first ever 4-homer game in card and dice. I'd like to. I don't know who I have to. I don't really have anybody to put in for Brown. Who's at first? Altman? Altman can move to left. Hang on a second. Is that worth doing? No, he's worse. He's a 4E13. Banks, he could play in a pinch. We're assuming he got the day off for a reason. Bacabella is a slight improvement on Brown, but he's the last catcher. Covington's a 5. Really nothing I can do there. What I wanted to do was move Phillips to left, put Klein in center. But I don't do that. Phillips is only rated in center. Now, if you use the Strat-O-Matic rule, technically he could move to left if you were playing that rule, and he'd be a 3E9 in left. But it's not on his card, so I'm not playing it that way. Oh yeah, I printed it out. Here, let's take another look. When I entered the game manually into the computer version for the stat keeping purposes. Sometimes if it's something special or a correction, I'll print them out. You can see it right there, Aaron's line. Home runs, Aaron, 4. I'm going to keep that. So I'll probably never see that again at my age. Big run there for the Cubs. It's 6-4. Bottom third of the lineup due for the Braves. Woodward and probably 2 pinch hitters. We're not going to let Alomar bat a 4th time with his computer-only card. Woodward will lead off. 1 for 2 of the walk as Jenkins comes set. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 2-3 right-handed. It's a foul ball left side. Sano will take it. And there's 1 down. Alomar being called back. Could use bowling. Probably won't take Jones out, so Gary Geiger will be the pinch hitter for Alomar. Geiger, the left-handed hitting outfielder, comes in at 253, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. One away here in the 8th. Jenkins to pitch to Gary Geiger. Here's the windup, here's the pitch. It's a 6-8 left-handed, a grounder down to first. Altman will take it himself. And there's 2 away. Now they'll send up a batter for Carroll. Trying to catch lightning in a bottle, Rico Carty has grabbed the bat. Two innings for Carroll. 4 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. And here's Rico Carty. All Carty's done in this replay is bat 369. 369. Leads the club, of course. 4 homers, 13 RBIs. There's the rally music for the Braves fans. 2 away, here's Carty. Jenkins into the windup. 4-8 right-handed. He struck him out. Just a marvelous 3 innings by Fergie Jenkins. Frank Bowling will take over at second. Trying to find somebody who we didn't use in the first game. They used Jarvis. So we're going to go with either Necro or Olivo. Let me check their usage here. That'll be the deciding factor in this situation. It will be Olivo. Chichi Olivo will come on and pitch for Atlanta. We go to the 9th inning in a 6-4 game. Olivo on the season. He's been their best pitcher. He's been in 8 games, a pair of saves, and has not allowed a run in 13 innings of work. Gerald's had it twice. It'll be Santo, Altman, and Brown for the Cubs. Santo 3 hits on the day. Olivo ready to work. Ted Abernathy throwing in the Cubs pen. Olivo the pitch to Santo. 1-6 right-handed. That's a triple to 9, and on a 1 that is down. Santo can run all day as it bounces around into the corner, and Santo is in at third with his 4th hit of the afternoon, a leadoff triple. Yes, he is, Kenyon. Yes, he is. Here's Altman 0 for 4. Braves will have to pull the infield in. They can't let up another run. Trailing by 2 as it is. Here's Olivo's pitch to Altman. It's a 1-8 right-handed. He struck him out. And it's the hat trick for Altman, his 3rd strikeout of the day. That'll bring up Byron Brown. 1 for 3. Infield in. Olivo's pitch. It's a 6-8 right-handed. It's a ground ball to third with the infield in. That is the 4th play, I'm almost certain. third, B7. Batter is safe. Leading runner is out. Matthews takes it. Sano broke too soon. Matthews fires it to Torrey for the out. And that's going to be a 5-2 force. Big play for the Braves, and here's Hundley. Olivo from the stretch. Pitch to Randy Hundley on a 6-7 right-handed as a grounder to second base X. That's Bowling, who I did announce but failed to write in. 3E16, I believe. Let's double check it. Yep, that's right. I just remembered he's very similar to Alomar, 3E17. Here's the play. On a 20, he makes the play for the out. 4-3X, side retired. So the Cubs waste a chance there. The leadoff leadoff triple by Sano nets them nothing. And they're going to bring in Abernathy for the save. Abernathy would end up finishing this season with the Braves, interestingly. Right now he's on the Cubs. He's been in just one game. No, that isn't true. Wrong line, I beg your pardon. He's been in 10 games, 4 saves, and a 2.7 ERA. Just 7 hits in 13 1/3 innings. They could have gotten an insurance run there. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. Top of the order for the Braves. Good time to thank everybody for watching. Good crowd on hand today. I sure do appreciate it, fellas. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun having you guys here. Felipe, 1 for 4. Abernathy gets the sign from Hundley. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-8 right-handed. It's a little comebacker. Abernathy knocks it down, picks it up, throws to Altman, 1 down. Here's Mac Jones now, 0 for 3 with a walk. Abernathy goes into the windup. The pitch to the left-hander is a 2-5. Struck him out. And the Braves are down to their last out. And who else could it be, really, but Henry Aaron? Of course, he can't hurt him, even with a home run here. But I'd kind of like to see him hit one anyway, wouldn't you? See him hit one out, and then Abernathy can get the next man, and everybody will be happy. Here's the pitch to Hank Aaron. It's a 4-6 right-handed. It's a fly ball to right. Backing up is Billy Williams, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 ninth for Abernathy. 6-4. Cubs get the split. I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. See, Johnson worked 6. So Johnson, it was 5-4. Johnson takes the loss. He's 2-3. Here's the question. Brolio pitched 5. Brolio gets the win. How about that? He improves to 3-2, and he started off the game looking like he wasn't going to pitch 3 innings. Abernathy picks up the save, his 5th of the season. Excellent job by Jenkins with 3 innings of long relief. Just 1 hit. No walks in typical Fergie fashion, and 3 strikeouts. And a 1-2-3-9 for Abernathy with a K. Levo in his inning, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Boy, I think you could make a great case there for Jenkins, Franklin. Anyone else for player of the game? Anybody? Anybody? Phillips had 4 hits, 3 RBIs. In winning, the Cubs score 6 runs on 15 hits, 1 error. The Braves 4 runs, just 5 hits, no errors. I'm inclined to split the player of the game between Jenkins and Phillips at this juncture. Kenyon says Phillips. Let's see if somebody can break the tie. Meanwhile, we'll take a look ahead on the schedule. Oh, hell, I lost my schedule. Mookie must have done that. Yeah, he'll do that. He closed all my windows on the other laptop. Probably stood on it. Thank you, Biff, for joining us. And Bob B., another new face, I think. If I'm wrong, I apologize. He says Phillips. Yeah, I'm inclined to go with Phillips. As much as I like Jenkins, I think Phillips' 4 hits with a homer and a double, 3 RBIs, trumps Jenkins' 3 innings. So let's look ahead to tomorrow, 1:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern. It's going to be the Tigers at the Orioles. 2 lefties on the mound. Mickey Lolich for the Tigers, Frank Bertana for the Orioles. Well, I know Franklin will be here. And that'll do it for me, fellas. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks once again for watching. That was a good one today. That was fun. See you all tomorrow. Everybody have a very pleasant evening. And stay safe.